I was sprawled out on my bed, staring at the laptop as my soon-to-be ex-wife got cozy with my neighbor and his wife up at our lakeside cabin, and right then, I figured it was high time to clue them all in on the mess they'd already stepped into, deep, sticky trouble they couldn't even imagine. For 6 solid weeks, I'd been playing detective, piling up every scrap of proof I needed, not just about them stabbing me in the back, but about the tangled mess of lies they'd cooked up to make it all seem okay. The fuzzy video on my screen laid it all bare for me, while the mics I'd planted caught every whispered secret, every little laugh, every groan they thought I'd never hear. I'm Robert Miller, by the way, did 3 stints in Vietnam and spent 18 brutal months in a POW camp, so yeah, I learned how to bide my time. When I first got a whiff that Sheila might be stepping out, I didn't just barge in yelling. Nah, I watched, I gathered intel, I mapped out my next move. Old Special Forces habits stick with you like glue. I punched in Sheila's cell number and saw her glance at it, flip me the bird without even breaking rhythm with Derek, like I was nothing. That cabin up on Lake Champlain. It was my safe haven after the war, a place I hammered together with my own 2 hands, somewhere I'd taken Sheila hoping we could patch up our marriage. Now it was just another damn war zone. Since she clearly wasn't in the mood to chat with me, I rang up Sylvia's phone instead. She was stretched out next to Sheila, eyeballing her husband having a grand old time with my wife. She didn't recognize my number, so she picked up, curious. Sylvia, hit the speaker button and hand that phone over to the cheating gal next to you, right now, I told her, keeping my voice cool as a cucumber, even though I was boiling inside. When Sylvia clocked it was me, she bolted upright, freaked out that the jig was up, her eyes popped open like saucers, her bare skin locked in place like a deer in headlights. She put a halt to Derek's fun, shoved the phone at my soon-to-be ex, and totally spaced on switching it to speaker. Sheila, flip it to speaker, now, I ordered, watching her fumble with the buttons until she got it right, then I laid it out plain, don't even think about coming back here. Don't call, don't text, don't reach out, period. As far as I'm concerned, you're gone, and pretty soon everyone else'll see it too. Oh, and by the way, I wasn't the one cheating, that was a little fairy tale your pals whipped up so Derek could swoop in. Now hand that phone to Derek, and all of you listen up, 'cause this goes for the whole rotten bunch. I said it smooth and steady, like I was chatting about the forecast. Those 3 faces flickering on my laptop screen. They were a mess of panic, Sheila's, which used to light up my world, now twisted up with dread, Derek's cocky grin starting to crack, Sylvia looking like she might hurl any second. Good, they oughta be scared stiff. 6 weeks back, I'd started picking up the hints. Sheila got all cagey with her phone, stayed late at work way more than usual, and her smell shifted. Turns out it was Derek's cologne, though I didn't peg it then. Little stuff most guys might shrug off, but not me. I'm wired to catch the details, thanks to years of training. Hey, Ron, I've got that conference up in Albany this weekend, she told me, tossing stuff into an overnight bag. The real estate thing. I thought that was next month, I shot back, acting like I didn't see her stiffen up. Nope, it's this weekend, marketing tricks for fancy houses, she mumbled, avoiding my gaze while folding that lacy set I'd gotten her for our anniversary. I just nodded, gave her a peck goodbye, and watched her peel out, then I tailed her in my beat-up old pickup, the one she always griped about being a junker. She didn't head to Albany, 90 miles north, nope, she rolled right into our cabin's driveway, where Derek's Audi was already sitting pretty. That night, I crashed at a motel 5 miles down the road, plotting my next step. The following day, while they were out messing around on the lake in our boat, I snuck in and set up the first batch of cameras and mics, basic gear I'd ordered a while back, just in case things went south. The cabin's rough wooden beams and paneling. Perfect for hiding that stuff. By the next weekend, I had the whole setup dialed in, I could tune in from anywhere with Wi-Fi, and believe me, I did. When Sheila heard my voice and realized I was onto her, she stammered, "Ron, it's not," but I cut her off sharp. "It's exactly what it looks like to me," I snapped. That cabin's rigged up with cameras and mics, been that way for the past 6 weeks, so while you 3 scramble to throw some clothes on, think hard about everything you've done and said lately, then pass the phone to your soon-to-be toast lover. Even through the blurry feed on my laptop, I could tell Sheila's face went pale as a ghost. She shot a look at Derek, muttering, "He's on to us, he's watching right now," before shoving the cell his way, her eyes darting around like she could spot my hidden lenses. Derek snatched it up, puffing out his chest like his swagger was kicking back in, ready to sling some garbage my way. Before he could even start spinning a yarn about this being a one-time thing, I shut him down cold. "Derek, you, my so-called buddy and next-door pal, better figure out two things quick once I cut this call. First off, I hope you've got enough bucks in your wallet and gas in your tank to hightail it out of the country pronto, 'cause as of this second, I'm calling it open season on your slimy, cheating hide, and those two backstabbing women with you, and trust me, I'm a crack shot who doesn't mess around." His jaw tightened, he figured I was all talk, no action. We'd been neighbors 5 years, grilling burgers in the summer, cracking beers on my deck during football games. He only knew the quiet vet who kept to himself, not the other Ron, the one who'd clawed through hell most folks couldn't even dream of. Number 2, don't even think about swinging back by the neighborhood, not to grab your stuff, not to sell your place. Pointless anyway, since your house is going up in flames as we speak. That was a stretch, it hadn't happened yet, but it was about to. I'd stashed a remote detonator next to my laptop, wired to the stuff I'd spread around their place last week while they were off at the cabin. Don't drag your sorry excuse for a wife back here, and don't play the hero by hauling my soon-to-be ex back to me. I wouldn't touch either of them. Best thing you can do is bolt, fast as your legs'll carry you, far as you can get, 'cause if I catch up, I'm gonna teach you tricks the North Vietnamese showed me about pain. Those memories hit me hard out of nowhere, bamboo jammed under my nails, water choking me before they called it waterboarding, holding positions for days, till my shoulders popped. I shoved M back down. You love those Rambo flicks, don't ya? That's all Hollywood fluff. I'm about to give you the real deal. As for Sylvia and the woman I used to call mine, I wouldn't go near them even with your filthy self, but here's a tip, running solo's a hell of a lot easier than lugging two disloyal dames along. Sheila was bawling now, mascara streaking down her cheeks. We'd been hitched 15 years, she'd pulled me through the darkest nights, held me tight when I woke up hollering, and this was her thanks. And those two? They better know if they're still with you when I track you down, they're in for the ride too. I won't hesitate to rope them into the payback, 'cause 6 weeks of watching and listening's got my rage dialed up plenty for all of you. Those recordings. They didn't just catch the cheating, they spilled everything, them yapping about me, cracking up at my expense, Derek mocking my nightmares, getting Sheila and Sylvia to giggle right along, poking fun at how I couldn't keep buddies, my clumsy way with people, the PTSD I'd wrestled with for years. I'm hanging up now, you've got 60 minutes to clear out of my cabin, clock's running. Too bad you've got no clue where I'm at, could be home, could be picking up milk at the lakeside store. Get moving, punk. Then I dropped the call. Sheila had her eyes locked on Derek while I laid out my warning. His face went a little white at first, but then, like he couldn't wrap his head around me being serious, he started puffing up again, acting like I was just blowing hot air. I kept my gaze glued to the laptop screen as all three of them started jabbering over each other. Derek piped up, "He's full of it, guys, no way he's got the guts to follow through." The Derek I'd known was this big-shot real estate guy, cocky as hell, 6'2", built like he lived at the gym, always decked out like he'd walked off a magazine page, the type who'd never tasted real fear or danger in his cushy life. Did you ever actually hear Ron when he talked about the VC while you two were glued to Rambo, Dan? Sheila shot back. She knew better than he did, she'd been there for my midnight yells, seen the jagged scars crisscrossing my back and chest. Nah, those old war dogs just jazz up their stories to feel tough, Dan tossed out, brushing it off like it was nothing. You're dead wrong about Ron, Sheila fired back, glaring at him and Sylvia. He did nearly a year and a half in a VC POW camp, I know 'cause I still hear him thrashing in his sleep. Plus, he's never lied a day in his life, hates folks who do, so what's this garbage about him not cheating on me? That grabbed my ear, and I edged closer to the screen, hanging on her words. Sylvia turned to Derek, narrowing her eyes. "Danny, you swore you had proof he stepped out, what's the deal?" Derek just shrugged, all casual-like, and said, "Doesn't even matter anymore, besides, he's got zilch on us here, this place ain't bugged, he's bluffing." It clicked right then, they'd cooked up some fake story about me cheating to make their little fling feel okay, typical sneaky crap. "Sheila, didn't you catch what I just said? He doesn't lie, how can you say it doesn't matter?" "Damn straight it matters to me," Sylvia snapped, her voice sharp. I'd had enough of their nonsense, so I decided to ring them up again and shut down their little fantasy world. The phone buzzed, and Sheila, spotting my number, picked up with this smug edge, thinking I was about to eat crow. "What, calling to admit you made it all up, she started, but I jumped in quick. "Truth's pretty damn clear here. Derek, flip the TV to channel 126 and tell me what you're looking at, you lowlife, then get some clothes on, you're burning daylight." That channel, 126, was hooked up to show the main camera feed I'd rigged in the cabin, a slick little move that worked like a charm. "Sylvia, give your mom, Mary, a shout, ask her how your house is holding up. Oh, and while you're at it, maybe ask why she's been cozying up with Derek at my cabin every Tuesday for the last 5 weeks, time's ticking." Then I cut the line. That wasn't just talk, the surveillance had spilled more than just Sheila and Derek's dirty secret. It caught Derek sneaking Sylvia's 60-year-old mom in there on Tuesdays while Sylvia thought he was swinging golf clubs. Their whole web of lies was twisted up tight, almost clever, if it wasn't so pitiful. Derek flicked the TV to the right channel, and boom, there they were, staring at a live shot of themselves gawking at the screen. The sheer terror washing over their faces made every buck I dropped on that setup worth it. Sylvia dialed her mom and got an earful. They'd been trying to reach M for 2 hours about a fire that torched their house, everything was ashes now. When she pressed Mary about those Tuesdays with Derek, there was a quick pause, then just a heavy sigh before the line went dead. I hadn't lit the match myself, not yet, but I've got buddies who owe me big, and one fast call got it handled before Sylvia even hit her mom's number. Timing's everything when you're playing this game. Sylvia spun around to lay into Derek, but all she caught was his backside as he bolted for his car and peeled out. Didn't even grab his gear, just threw on some clothes, nabbed his cash, swiped whatever was in their purses, and ditched the two of them there with no ride, no money, no cards, nothing but each other. As Derek peeled out down the driveway, tearing away from the cabin, Sheila let loose a scream, "You rotten liars. You both fed me a pack of lies, and now my husband's gone, my marriage is toast, and I'm probably a dead woman walking." I'll admit, I was a tad let down that Derek ditched the gals without a second thought, but I figured I'd deal with them in my own time later. Sylvia, who's got about as much sense as her bonehead husband, piped up, "Oh, quit with the theatrics, Sheila, it's just a fling, nothing big. No one's getting killed or even banged up over this, Ron's not that kinda guy." That's all she managed to spit out before it hit the fan. Right then, a string of deafening booms ripped through the air as Derek's car rolled onto the highway, tripping the wires I'd rigged to some claymore mines, or so it seemed. The driver's side door looked like Swiss cheese, every inch peppered with holes, and Derek slumped over the wheel, looking done for. Truth is, every door got its own blast, set up so anyone riding shotgun would have been toast too. Sheila's face went gray as she stared at Sylvia and muttered, "What were you saying?" "PTSD, who's heard of that, right? But that's not where this tale wraps up." Watching those two on my screen, their freaked-out faces lit up by the far-off flash of the blast, I didn't feel a damn thing, no payback high, no weight off my chest, not even a flicker of rage, just a big, hollow nothing. Those claymores? Pure smoke and mirrors. I'd set up some small charges to mimic the bang and flash, no deadly bits included. Derek's car took a beating, but he was fine, just scared witless, exactly like I'd planned. I wanted Sheila and Sylvia to buy the threat hook, line, and sinker, while letting Derek scamper off. I snapped my laptop shut and took a slow look around my motel room, the plain walls, cheesy prints, and stiff bedspread staring back at me, a sneak peek at my future, drifting, nameless, cold as hell. I'd lost all that mattered, but so had they. Then my phone buzzed, Colonel Johnson, my old CO, on the line. "Ron, I got your message, what in God's name have you gone and done?" "Just gave them what they had coming, sir," I shot back. "You're sounding off the rails, Ron, listen to me, I get you've been through hell. No offense, sir, but you don't get it, not unless you were in that camp with me," I said, keeping it real. "Point taken, but this ain't Vietnam, and they're not VC, they're regular folks, your wife, your neighbors." "Not in my book anymore," I said, feeling that icy calm creep in, same as I'd felt back in the fight. "Now they're just marks on a list." He went quiet for a beat. "I'm coming to haul you out of this, where you at?" "Can't say, sir." "You need help, Ron, that war ended 50 years back, don't toss what's left of your life down the drain over this." I just stared at the ceiling, letting his words hang. "Thing is, sir, there ain't much left to toss." Couple hours later, I rolled my truck into the cabin's driveway. I caught their faces in the window, pure panic shining through, even from way off. I'd let them simmer, let their minds run wild with what I might pull next, mind games, you know. I strolled in, no knock needed, it's my damn cabin. Sheila was posted up in the living room, gripping a fireplace poker like a lifeline, with Sylvia huddling behind her. "Ron, please," Sheila said, her voice shaking like a leaf, "we're sorry, both of us." I plopped down on the couch, playing it cool as ice. "Drop that thing before you poke your eye out, Sheila." Sylvia's whisper barely made it out, "Are you gonna kill us?" I held her gaze for a long second. "You really think I'm that low?" Sheila eased the poker down. "Derek's okay, just spooked. Those blasts were all show, no go." I nodded at the couch across from me. "Take a load off, both of you." They sank down, clutching each other like scared kids. "I'm not here to hurt you, not either one of you, that was never the game plan." "Then what's this all about?" Sheila started, her voice still wobbly. "I needed you to taste what I've been choking on, betrayal, fear, that gut punch of being helpless." I locked eyes with her, letting it sink in. "You didn't just step out with Derek for 6 weeks, it's been 6 months, Sheila, and I've been onto you almost since day one," I said, watching her eyes pop wide. "How'd you figure it out?" she stammered. "I've got 15 years of knowing you inside out," I told her. "Your little giveaways, the way you dodge my gaze when you're spinning a lie, all those extra showers, suddenly pulling late nights at work when that was never your thing." Sylvia cut in, her voice sharp. "Why'd you go through this whole circus? Why not just call us out up front?" I let out a dry, empty chuckle. "What, so you'd quit?" "Nah, you just get sneakier, this way, you're feeling the fallout, real and heavy." I got up and ambled over to the window, peering out at the lake, all peaceful and glowing under the late afternoon sun. "Derek's car's busted up but he's fine, probably flooring it toward Canada by now." "Your house, Sylvia." "It's history, and I fixed it so insurance won't pay a dime, the arson folks'll dig up proof you and Derek cooked it up for the cash." "That's a lie," she snapped, bristling. "Sure, but it'll look airtight, those emails I planted from your account to his cell it real nice." "Oh, and your mom?" "That Tuesday stuff's legit, give her a ring about it sometime." Sheila eased to her feet, slow and shaky. "What about me, what about us?" I spun around to face her square. "Us is dead, buried as of this morning. Our accounts drained dry, shuffled through a dozen offshore holes. House is up for grabs, those papers you signed last month weren't for a refinance. This cabin sold already." Her face folded in on itself, like she'd been punched. "You can't pull this off." "Already did," I shot back. "Everything I've done skirts the law just enough to stick, everything you've pulled doesn't." Here's the deal, you two are gonna walk outta here, hop in Sheila's car, and hit the road, I don't care where, and I don't wanna hear about it. Cross my path again, and today'll feel like a sweet little daydream next to what I'll unleash. Sylvia whimpered, we've got nothing left. You've got each other, I said, ice in my tone. Beats what I'm stuck with. After they took off, I hung around the cabin for one last night. Come morning, the new folks, a young couple kicking off their life, would roll in, and I hoped they'd find more joy here than Sheila and I ever did. I loaded the last of my junk into my truck and took a slow stroll down to the lake's edge, the water lapping soft and steady, like it didn't give a damn about my mess. My phone buzzed again, Colonel Johnson. Ron, sheriff called, no bodies turned up. Tell me you didn't go off the deep end. Nobody's bleeding, sir, not in the flesh, at least, I said. He let out a long, relieved breath. Thank Christ. Where you headed now? Figured I'd swing your way, maybe crash at your place like you offered. You're welcome anytime, son, doors never locked for you. I clicked off and stared out at the water. In my pocket sat the detonator for the final charges, tucked under the cabin's bones, one flick, and it'd all vanish, the betrayal stage, the memories, the ache. I rolled it in my hand, feeling its heft, then reared back and chucked it hard into the lake, watching it sink with a quiet plop. Some stuff you don't blow up, even if it stings, you just turn your back and leave it behind. I climbed into my truck and peeled out, no glance in the rearview. Hunting season was done. And that's the wrap on this tale, folks. If it hit you right, smash that thumbs up and toss a comment down below, helps the algorithm sling my stuff further. New around here? Hit subscribe, it keeps me spinning these yarns for you. Thanks for sticking with it, catch you in the next one.